Hi everybody, welcome to the Wee Garden Homestead. Welcome to the cutting table. So I have a new project to start today. Let's get those pins out of the way. I have a new project to start today. And I have just a little over a month to finish it. I will probably work in at least one other project in the meantime, because I'm feeling a little overwhelmed over this one. So I have a new grandbaby coming, and I'm totally excited over that. And she's doing dragon theme for the nursery. So I found this pattern. Isn't that just adorable? Look at that. Let me zoom in on that so you can see it. Isn't that just adorable? It's a little sleeping dragon. How stinking cute is that? I know. I got this pattern, I believe, on Etsy. I will post a link for it. And yeah, I'm not a big one to follow patterns, but we're going to give this a try. It says confident beginner, and I'm not a beginner, but I don't follow patterns, so we'll see. I mean, it's all pretty direct, but look at all that cutting. Look at all that cutting. Oh my goodness. So that's what I'm working on today. I'm going to do some cutting today. I found this fabric on Etsy for the back. It's absolutely adorable with the dragons in that. Oh, let me get that in frame. And I was hoping to match those colors. Unfortunately, this fabric took forever to get here. It came from, I think, the Netherlands. I should have checked that before I ordered it. But it sat in Miami in customs for almost 2 weeks. So I bought fabric hoping that I could make it match. So I have my little notes here. So I got to remember what I'm doing here. So for the body, it's going to be this one. For all of this where it's red. For the legs, I got this pretty teal color. And then for the belly, I got this light blue. They're not really a grunge, but they're not a solid either. And then for the wings, I got gold. And I don't know why I got so much. I don't know. I thought maybe I liked the color and I got extra. I bought these before Christmas, so. And then for the spikes, I got this. So the wings are going to be gold. The spikes are going to be the spikes are going to be the orange. And then for the white, for the tooth, I just need a 2x4 scrap. I've got tons of white. The eye and the claws would be black. I'm sorry, you can't see that. The eye and the claws would be black. I've got black scraps, no problem. And then the background. Bam. So that's what I got. That's what I'm working on today. I'm going to get cutting. I'm hoping these come out good. Like I said, I'm a little intimidated by following this pattern. It has so many pieces and so many steps, and whew, that's what I'm doing. So I'm going to get to cutting, and we'll get moving on it. I forgot. The first thing I have to do is cut out all these little tags. It's a little over 2 pages. It's half a page here and a full page here, and then another half a page there. I got to cut all out these little tags and put them with the pieces that I cut. So we'll see how that goes. Okay, so I actually did not cut all those little squares out. I started to, and then I thought, whoo, then I'm going to have to dig through all of those to find the right tag. So I'm gonna cut them as I need them. So let's see. I'm gonna go press my fabric. Oh my goodness. Okay, here we are 3 hours later. So much cutting. So much cutting. Okay, so here's the background. Done. I gotta remember which all these parts are. The background. Okay. The body. Oh, and with the background, they had a cutting layout right here. And I was able to actually get this bottom row out of the scraps from the ends of these rows. Just an FYI. And still had a little bit of scraps left over. So the body, whew, right down to these little pieces. The legs. Goodness. The belly section. Doesn't seem like much there. The wings. His back spikes. Got a string caught there. Just a little thread. Let's get that off of there because that's going to cause me problems. His spikes. Let's see. His teeth. His claws and his eye. Whew. Wow. Okay, so 3 hours cutting. I was hoping to start sewing today, but I think that's going to be another day. Thanks so much for joining me. I'll keep you posted how the progress on this goes. All right, so the verdict is I can follow a pattern. We have a dragon head, complete with the tooth. I didn't put the eye on yet. I'm not sure if I'm going to do it the way they did it. They did it with a piece of fabric and some fusible webbing. I might, you know what? I might just use some embroidery floss to do that. I'll decide later on. I've got time. So the head is finished. This came out a little wonky right here, but this is the outside edge of the quilt. And I think I will just trim it off and it'll be fine. So we have a dragon head, an hour and 15 minutes for the dragon head. We'll see how long the rest of it takes. Now that I'm getting used to reading the pattern, it might not take me as long. It's a lot of little sewing and pressing and sewing and pressing and whew, my goodness. So I think I'm done for today, but I will be doing, let's see what's next. The front leg section. So I will be doing that tomorrow. Okay, day 3. We are doing the front leg section. So I have all the pieces pulled for the first, where are we at? 22 steps, it looks like. I don't know. We'll see how this goes. And I'm going to get this going and I'll be back. Alrighty, this front leg is finished, despite the fact that I sewed this backwards. So I had to rip this seam out because that's when I realized it. I had to cut a new piece of this and a new piece of this and rip this seam and put it back together. And then the first time I put it back together, this was not lined up properly. So it was too high and too short here. So I had to rip this seam again and do it over. But it's done. I'm going to move on to the next part, but it's going to be a few minutes. I need a little break. Just thought I'd show you what I have so far. I do still need to trim this off, but the head from yesterday and the front leg, we are moving right along. And it took me an hour and 40 minutes to do this with the ripping and the recutting. So that's okay. I'm going to take a break and move on to the next part. All right, I jumped ahead and these panels aren't sewn together yet, but this back leg is done. So I got the back leg, I got the front leg, and I got the head. Whew. Moving on. Okay. Here's what we got at the end of day 3. I didn't work today, so I got a lot done. So I've got the head section, I've got the front leg, I've got the back leg, and I've got 2 wings. Now these are not put together yet because I've got to do the other sections first, but whoa, I'm so happy. All right, I'm back. So this was day 4, and I was sick as a dog. I didn't realize how sick I was, and I was trying to sew, and I got quite a bit done. And I was ready to put all these pieces together when I discovered this piece that I had done was supposed to look like that, and it looks like this. And I was so sick. I had a sore throat. I had the flu. It's been going around work, and I knew I was going to have to recut all these pieces. There were 4 pieces here. One of them I completely, because I put this one on wrong, it was completely gone. So anyway, I was going to have to recut that, and I just didn't have it in me. So now we are, let's see, that was Tuesday. It's Wednesday of the next week. We're 8 days out. I have not worked on anything. I have been sick in bed. I've been to the doctor. Today's the first day I feel good, and I am getting back to this. So I'm going to go recut this and get this tail section done. Okay, I got this piece redone, and now it actually looks like the picture. So I didn't have enough of this blue left, but I had enough scraps, so I pieced a piece and then cut my square that I needed. It worked. I'm sure in the grand scheme of things, once it's all put together, you won't even notice it. So I'm moving on. It's time for me to put this tail section together. I'll be back when it's done. Okay, there's the completed tail section. I have this laid out loosely on the bed. All of the pieces, all of the sections are done. I still have to put the eye on the dragon. I'm not sure what I'm going to do about that, but all that's left is to put 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 dragon sections and 3 more background sections together, and this quilt top will be done. I'm so excited. I don't think I can get the whole top in frame here, but yay. Okay, y'all, I just used some black embroidery floss and did, I don't know, like a chain stitch, I'm not sure what you would call it, for his little eye, and it is put together. It's laid out on the bed. I'm getting ready to do a quilt sandwich, and I'm going to get to quilting. So, just a quick update. This is almost finished. Excuse me, Maisie. Excuse me, Maisie. All right, everybody, here it excuse me. Here it is. All finished, ready for gifting. The shower is this Sunday. It was supposed to be last Sunday, but everybody was sick at their house, so they postponed it. So it is this week, this Sunday. Today is Thursday. I actually finished it on Saturday, and it would have been ready for gifting last Sunday had they had the shower. So basically all I did was I quilted around all of the parts of the body. So I didn't quilt on all of these intersecting lines, you know, where I put the pieces together, but I quilted around, like around the leg and around the wing and around the the body and around here. And then when I got to This part here, I just started in the corner and I went diagonal, and I tried to keep it's not straight, but I don't think it matters. And I just tried to keep it an even amount away, and I just went diagonal. When I got to the wing, I skipped over. And then when I got to the wing, I skipped over, basically like that. I just went diagonal. I bound it in the same fabric that I used for the backing. I bought enough. And then I have this absolutely adorable dragon print on the back. I'll get a picture and give you a better look at that. So I'm going to go outside and do a quilt drop and get some pictures. And this one gets a done stamp. And I think this one is 1, 2, 3, 4, I think. Number 4. So I'm right on time. Thanks so much for joining me. Don't forget to like, subscribe. I'll leave a link to the pattern in my description, and I will leave a link for this fabric in my description. I got this on Etsy, and I got this, I believe, from a quilt shop. I'll look it up, and I will leave a link. I love this pattern. I have never been one to really follow patterns, and I was very intimidated by it. But it was very well written. It was very easy to follow. And it went together much more quickly than I thought it was going to. It took me a long time to cut. It took me about 3 hours to cut all those pieces. But putting it together, I thought went together pretty quickly. I mean, it did take me a couple days, and I was sick in the middle of it and all that. But I'm totally thrilled. I'm thinking I'd like to do one in like pinks and purples. I don't have a little baby girl to give it to, but I think it would look really cute in pinks and purples. And I will not hesitate to use a pattern like this again, because I learned so much from this. It was so well written. It was easy to follow. 10 thumbs up on this one. So thanks so much for joining me. Leave me a comment. How do you feel about using patterns? I might find a pattern for a block, but I don't really do patterns like this very often. I might do more. Thanks so much.